There we go. Oh. Greetings, wayward travelers. Come on in, take a seat, and welcome to the Ecriom Expeditions. I'm your Dungeon Master, Logan Hanley, here to spin you and the adventurers you see before you a yarn through the lands of Ecriom. Before we get started, we got a few different shoutouts and announcements to go through. The first being Brianna Flame, amazing graphic designer and TTRPG player, game runner, all that amazing thing. She did the overlays for the Ecriom Expeditions that you can see here today. Next, Esoteric, the amazing cartographer who brought the Lands of Ecriom to life. You can see his stuff right here behind me and other projects that I'm doing. There we go. I had to fix one thing. And then Dell, the amazing artist. I keep saying and then Adele, and now I keep thinking of Adele. But no, Dell, amazing artist who does all of the character art for the show. She did all of our characters and is amazing to work with and incredibly awesome. So check them out and all that good stuff. And then last but not least, Adrian von Ziegler, the amazing composer, music genius, who is the ambiance for all of the music in game. You can thank Ronan Fox for introducing me to his compendium of over 400 songs for like the really good price of $50. So head on over to his, what is it, SoundCloud? Something like that. I think it has the links in there. Head on over there, Bandcamp, there we go, to check out his music. Onto our sponsors, we have Umber Oculus Dice, who are the amazing... Oh, I usually do Dragon Rock first, but that's fine. Umber Oculus Dice, amazing purveyor of the arcane die. Taryn Hackett, the amazing Eden, brings dice from beyond the veil for you to have at your table. And today we will be giving away... Ooh, I gotta set that up. This beautiful little... Does it have a name? Okay.
It's called the episode 2.
The episode 2 dice with a flower in it. Dice.
Well, no, now it's going to be named Eden's BB.
Eden's BB? Eden's BB, not even baby. BB. Eden has multi-classed into a gunfighter and uses BB guns now. But yeah. Next, Dragon Rock RPG design, Daniel Lieberman, Renee Beauregard, bringing unique and creative content to the TTRPG community. Whether it's writing their own content or collaborating with other creatives, their goal is to bring their extensive experience and expertise to any material that they work on. You can see Daniel working with myself on some of the Ecriom homebrew stuffs every once in a while on my Twitch channel. And then obviously Renee is here playing Perrin. Next, Adventures in 3D. There we go. I forgot to type one up for them. But my friend Richard, amazing developer and creator, dungeon master of 3D minis. We're going to be potentially starting to use and see some of his more unique designs at the table as I've gone through and wish listed like 30 different minis and now have restructured the whole campaign to surround those. But yeah, we'll see some of his stuff. And then last but not least, the Initiative Order. TO is a collective of passionate TTRPG players and creators that want to help the community thrive and grow. Their main goal is to explore and experience all different types of gaming systems while creating an inclusive community for all of our players and viewers. So check them out. I believe they're going to probably start their October community games sometime in the near future, so check them out for that, as well as pretty much everybody here is in a show or has played on TO at one point or another, and I'm sure they will speak extensively on that themselves. But yeah, before we go to our introduction, let's hear from the players, starting with Eden.
Bye. Hi everybody, I am Taryn Hackett, also known as Val Root across the socials, generally creative human and TTRPG performer. I am also a GM over on the Initiative Order. On every other Sunday, I GM as the keeper of a Cult Divinity Lost homebrew campaign called Far Realms, where I lead a group of the Lost through mind-bending adventures where they begin to question everything, and it's my lifeblood. I am also in the Initiative Order every Monday as Peggy Sue James in our Fallout Vault campaign, which is also super fun. And then I am the creative behind Umber Oculus Dice, UO_dice on the Instagram. Link in bio for merch and dice in my shop.
Utahime.
Hi guys, I'm Brianna, but many of you guys know me as Utahime, cosplayer, streamer, and TTRPG performer. You can catch me on the socials of the medias at Utahime Cosplay on Facebook, Instagram, here on Twitch, where I occasionally stream. I'll probably be trying to stream a little bit tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. And also Brianna DaCosta on Twitter. And if you want to catch me in some other shows, like our Eden mentioned, you can catch me as well as Ash, the super mutant, on Vault, our Fallout TTRPG on the Initiative Order, and that's 6:30 p.m. Pacific time on Mondays. And then you can catch me, other than here, on that_D'Angelo's channel for Tayar, which is a political themed D&D game. So that one is becoming very spicy. So definitely tune in for that. I play a paladin in that one, which is a lot of fun. And yeah, stay tuned. There's going to be an announcement about a new campaign I will be joining on the Creators Assemble channel. And that one is called Agents of Nyx. So that's going to be premiering October 8th. So stay tuned.
Ronan.
Hey, what's up? I'm Ronan Fox. You can find me at Ronan Fox on all the socials. I am a world builder, writer, TTRPG performer. I play in the Far Realms that Taryn mentioned, getting the wits scared out of me. I am helping write Tayar, some of the back end stuff of that, so that is exciting. And I will be rejoining Twitch a week from today, actually. So I'm going to go back to Twitch, where I'm going to be exclusively world building my campaign / novel setting of Valandra, which is a very extensive project that I'm undertaking. So join me there.
Hell yeah. And before, Art will be hopefully joining us soon. Got some work stuff running late, but last but not least for right now, Renee.
Hello everyone, my name is Renee Beauregard. You can find me at Dragon Rock RPG on Twitter, at Dragon Rock RPG Design on Instagram, where me and my compatriot and best friend Daniel Lieberman create 5e supplements for D&D. Very soon we will be releasing our newest suite, and I am happy and excited to announce that those will be a suite of warlocks. I am excited to get you guys all of these fancy warlock creatures, or subclasses, I should say. One does come with a creature. That'll be fun. And I'm also a dungeon. I'm the dungeon referee for Mythical Melee, a quarterly special event that we host over at the Initiative Order. This month, August 23rd coming, we will be hosting the next Mythical Melee, and that one is called Comics Collide, where series of different comic book characters across multiple different well, I think the main two, Marvel and DC, have been decided, but entirely not connected characters will be going head to head, as built by Daniel Lieberman and myself. I'm excited to see what happens and who comes out on top for that. So stay tuned and keep your eyes out on the Initiative Order for more information on that. Without further ado, Mr. Logan, I believe it's time to play some Dungeons and Dragons.
It is. So let us get into our next installment of the Ecriom Expeditions. As I click things. Also, put barefoot in chat for a chance to win dice. Here we go. Welcome back, everybody. All right. As I continue to flounder as I pull notes. Our story began with a man waking blearily up from another night of study and contemplation. This man, Professor Hale, after taking a moment to gather himself, heads out of his storage closet abode into the tavern below. There, he's greeted by two of his companions, Haku and Keth, who hail him and offer him breakfast, a slop of sorts that is not really to the professor's taste. While eating breakfast, the professor is informed of two new visitors to Les Imiter, a goblin sitting in the corner ordering food and tinkering with a bottle of alcohol and a series of vials. Across the bar, a young woman with elf-like features sits staring intuitively at the professor, attempting to investigate whether or not this human in particular also has pointy teeth, while simultaneously growing a miniature forest on the tavern's table. The three, soon to be identified as Kaiden, Eden, and Art, continue their conversations and small pleasantries as they begin to meet and intermingle before a flurry of blue, a whirlwind of aquamarine tempest comes running into Les Imiter, hand over mouth, barely getting out of the words, "Where is the bathroom?" as Finara Valar storms upstairs to puke into the good professor's closet abode. In strums her brother. Cool, calm, collected, lute in his hand, singing gleefully to the resounding reverberations of Finara's upchucks. After some confusion, the two... Oh gosh, I mixed up where all my notes were. The pair introduce themselves as Perrin and Finara, where in more pleasantries and conversations take place between the five newcome patrons of Les Imiter. As the chaos subsides, because we're not getting into everything that happened, Perrin and Finara inform the barkeep Kaya that they were told by their father to seek out Umber. After some confusion on Kaya's part, the two were let down into the cellar meeting chamber below the tavern. The pair met a shifter who they thought was Umber, later to identify as Aoife, who works with Umber and had connections to their father. Some mild reminiscing occurs before Aoife attempts to figure out the pair's purpose in Swaygut. They seek adventure and to explore the world. Seeing this as an opportunity, Aoife presents the two with a job, and is soon cut off by Kaiden, Eden, and Art, all storming into the office with Kaya in tow, exclaiming that she tried to stop them from coming down. The crew assembled, and after Aoife talks vigorously with herself, the job is given. A warehouse belonging to the Scar Harriers has gone dark. An anticipated attack may have taken place. The party is to investigate the warehouse and ensure the safety of precious cargo and resources to the Scar Harriers. With this information and directions to the warehouse, these five strangers begin their journey out of Les Imiter and into the city of Swaygut. The five of you, as you guys are heading out, very briefly hear the call of Kaya as she yells for Art to come back inside. The door open, Art and Kaya going back and forth. There seems that with the inclement weather that has soon been approaching, a storm is gathering, and there's a leak in the roof of Les Imiter, and only one goblin brave enough to fix it. So, with Art scurrying inside with another task, the four of you remain on the street, map in hand, and a job awaiting. What would you like to do?
Hey, Kiki, do you know exactly where this place is? I can't read maps.
I
not
believe that
responding to
he
that
said
name.
his name is Hale.
Well, that one's not much better either. Are you sure that's one you want to go with?
For now, yes.
I'm still gonna call you Kiki, but do you know
I
where?
assumed.
Do you know where we're going? Because that person's staring funny, and I don't really like it.
I haven't spent. I've been here a couple of days, but I don't explore cities. That's not what I do. So no. But we have a map, and I can read maps.
Right. So if Tall Dorkin Stoic wants to let us know where we're headed as we make our way through, based on whatever common sense he has, then perhaps I don't think we'll get to where we're supposed to go.
Can you not see the map from that? You should lower the map. That's really rude of you to bombard the map and not show people.
Parent, do you want me to lift you up again so you can see clearly?
I'm sure. And he will like start climbing up Fanara's back and onto her in like a piggyback position so he can like look over her shoulder and read the map. Okay. Right. So they said that we've got to go down to the where are we going again?
It was some kind of house where they have wares or something. I didn't catch the name.
Was it near some docks?
What's the dock?
Oh boy.
It's an area where ships they in order to unload the people and different shipments and things. It's just like land, but like wooden flat area, so it's not like people have to go trek through ocean and get things wet, get their clothes or the shipment, it's to keep everything dry, and then you just go across and you're there.
That's good, because water's pretty evil, but I'll follow you guys as long as we're not getting in the water.
I promise, water's not really evil. I think that you're confusing it with storms. Storms can be kind of dangerous sometimes, but the ocean is beautiful. It's really beautiful.
Water wants to eat me, and Eden starts walking without direction.
I have an idea for expedition for future reference, Eden. And he's going to take out a notebook, the really crummy looking coloring book one, and he's going to take a page out and rip it here. Just as opposed to asking every time you don't know something, just write it down and we'll ask it at the end of the day. Because I have a feeling that's a lot of things. Okay, now, does the map have is it marketed, or does it show the destination?
It's more of the Google Maps, like road by road, but I mean there is like a brief map that's like directionally which way to kind of go. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. You must be confused. You have to go older than Google Maps. This is a MapQuest situation for those of us who recall that situation.
Ask Jeeves.
Oh wait, so we don't have a Garmin? We can't afford a Garmin to direct us in the.
No, you're wearing your garments. What's wrong with you?
Don't stop saying words. Garmin. Eden's gonna get confused.
All right, let's go.
As soon as Eden already has she's like taken out like this kind of like she's grown like a red vine out of the ground and like sharpened it, and she's already writing just a list. So she's just writing things down on this paper as she's walking.
We need to go this way. Follow me.
Eden does not see that and continues to walk straight.
And then Fanar will kind of link arms with Eden. If you don't mind, I don't want you getting lost. My brother usually does this with me when I got to get a little off path.
So that's a good idea.
We have to keep her on the straight and narrow, or else she'll just get lost listlessly.
What? Okay, we'll let that known too. She's just like...
Yeah, remind me, and then the Fanar is pointing at the notebook. Remind me to explain the ocean, and I'll have to take you and show you that it's not going to eat you. There's things in the ocean that'll eat you, but we'll talk about that later.
That is okay. Writing that down too. Ocean wants to eat me. Okay.
I'm walking towards whatever direction.
Yeah, we're following. We're following you now that I have like Eden in tow.
It's easy enough following the Actually, no. Give me a survival with advantage. Whoever's leading the way.
That's Hale for sure.
Yeah, give me a survival with advantage, Hale. Let's do it. I'm gonna make you make a roll since I only made you guys make one roll last game. So.
Well, one of those was a 1. The other one was a 7, so 9
Oh.
total.
9 total.
Oh.
All right. So it takes
Great.
you. Thankfully, you do have directions. It's just going to take you significantly longer than it normally would have, as using MapQuest does.
Wish they would shut up.
It's like Hale's trying to read it, and then like the kids are yelling in the back, so he has to turn around and tell him to shut up, and then he misses his exit.
We'll turn this party around.
Yell that.
But no, you guys have to constantly stop because like Eden gets distracted by seeing like her third dwarf in a row and like little things like that. But you guys eventually make it to this warehouse going through the main kind of thoroughfare of Swaygut, which isn't all that impressive by the standards of like probably Perrin and Fenara. Eden, you've never seen anything like it. It's a bustling kind of like metropolis. People are handing off goods for money, all that kind of stuff. But to Perrin and Finn, this is very like ramshackled and kind of poor and not very well kept in terms of the quality of things, shops and things that you're used to at the Oasis. But you make your way through the town center toward the wharf, which at that point you can point out the docks to Eden.
Oh, see, this is what I was telling you about, the docks right here. So you see how it leads out into the ocean, but it's not all the way in there. And
It stops.
yeah, exactly. So that's how people unload the things inside of the ships.
What the?
Not in the water. Like they take it and put it on the land, but the dock leads out into the ocean so they can take things safely onto the land.
That seems like. What's the thing whenever you say something but it doesn't make sense? Because it sounds. You said that it is safely, but if you're on the water, it's not safe.
Well, again, we don't have time for me to show you the ocean, but remind me to do that later when we're not occupied and having to look out for. And then Fenara's going to be looking out to try to see if there's anybody who looks shady in the surrounding area.
Yeah, I would have stopped probably like once I get a visual of it, I'm not gonna like walk up to it. Like
Yeah, she kind of stops mid-sentence when
stop.
she says that to look.
Yeah, about
Okay.
about 20 feet down the road from it.
From the warehouse? Or
Yeah,
from the...
just-
Okay.
Mhm.
Just
Yeah,
so we
you
can
guys-
kind of make a plan.
You guys can continue moving on, and the warehouse, once you get out of the kind of Tafub Wharf area and into Little Skig, it's very much like taller apartment buildings, like style buildings where they're several stories tall. But you guys can pick out the one of the many warehouse style buildings that are there. The directions kind of lead right to it, but you're maybe about a couple blocks out. You see a very kind of like barn style warehouse, thatched roofs. It looks maybe about 30-ish feet tall, 30 to 40 feet tall. The only windows that you can see on it from this direction where you're looking kind of straight at it are in the front and then on the like very, very top ringing around right below the roof. There are a set of double doors flanking either side of these larger windows that look into what lies behind the doors.
Do you want to see in there? As she just blatantly points at the building.
Just why? What are you suggesting?
I can look in there real quick if you want.
How?
And she does the little like hand becoming grim thing again as like white hair starts to sprout and the face grows and then her arm kind of falls off and regrows. Grimmy buddy, would you do me a favor? Will you climb up over there to that window and look in for me? She points again.
Be careful.
Ingram,
I'm not going to get used to that whole, like, her arm turning into...
No, that's never going
It's
to
the
be
worst.
an absolute regular thing that I'm going to accept as normal.
I mean, it's normal for her, but it's just a little bit different for what we're used to.
Oh,
It's
really
a
strange.
relative term.
I have really good hearing.
Okay.
That comes in handy. It really does.
I'm glad to hear that.
Oh, okay. Well, so you got this, Grammy, and she does like little scritches, and then like,
and then hops off your hand and just skitters all the way to the window, hops up, and kind of starts peeking inside, and you can see him on his hind legs.
As he's peering in, Eden will just kind of reach out and like grab Finn's like arm, and then her eyes just kind of glaze over black as she is looking through Grimm's eyes to see what she sees.
Yeah, go ahead and give me a perception check, please.
That's an 18 on the die.
Oof.
Plus a 6.
Note
So
to
that's
self, make everything magical darkness. So they
While
can
that's
see.
happening, Fanara's gonna be like kind of like on the sly pointing. Like is Perrin still on Fanara's shoulder?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So like she's gonna be pointing.
I am
like
I
kind of
can't
like
hear you and I can't
eyes.
see. So.
She's just pointing like kind of like because her eyes are all black and she's a little nervous, like she's not sure if she needs to help her or like what's happening.
It's some sort of magic. If she's doing it herself, then she's fine. Don't
Fine.
stress
It's
yourself
a-
up.
It's a transference of sorts. She's seeing what that thing sees.
Okay, I was trying not to say it too because she can hear. But
Can't hear shit.
Right, we shouldn't talk too loudly now, should we?
Everybody's starting to look at the blue lady with like 3 different people stacked on. No, but no. Looking through the window, you can see a nice kind of like entryway. There's a table that goes along, like comes out from the back wall in a kind of L shape across on one side of the wall, and like on the wall that you're window. Oh God, words, slow down. Through the window, you can see chairs lined in front of you and up against the left wall. Looking in and to the right, you can see another set of double doors, much like those of the entryway. Behind the desk, there's a chair, but other than that, it's pretty bare, pretty plain. And with like a 20 frickin' million that you get, there is a layer of dust settled over that countertop, that desk.
And there's nobody in there, like actively moving around
this-
or anything.
In this kind of entryway, no, it's only maybe about like 15 feet wide by like 20-ish feet, 30, like 20, 25 feet across.
Is there a like so there's a door leading into just like another area further back, and does it okay, yeah. Eden will just start saying all of this out loud to them suddenly, and she's just describing what she sees, but like in Edenese. So it's like there's some doors in this dusty desk table thingy with a chair, and there's a bunch of other chairs, and then there's a door that goes places probably, but there's nobody in there, so we're probably good to just walk in. And then
Very
Eden,
informative.
Eden will kind of like come back to herself. Grimmy. She's kind of like motioning for Grim to come back.
Master Perrin, have you ever broke into a place before?
Oh, no, I have not actually. I'm more about being places I'm not supposed to be while they're open.
Okay.
Less about getting into places that I'm not supposed to be when they're not open.
He's really good at it.
My skills are mainly academic.
I could
Ah.
get in there.
Oh, are you sure?
I could.
Oh well, just wait one moment. Because I'm just a
okay.
little concerned about us progressing forward hastily. If you can hold my hand, and Perrin, can you hold my other hand for a moment?
Yes, absolutely.
And
he just
she
grabs
reaches up to take Perrin's hand, and then she holds Eden's. And she closes her eyes, and for a moment you see where her aquamarine bracelet seems like it's kind of shimmering a little bit. glowing a bit. And basically, she's kind of like whispering to herself, and you kind of hear where she's like, Avandra, please protect these people. She's just kind of like praying, and then she's making sure that the emboldened bond is activated for Perrin and Eden.
Okay, cool. So for those of you who don't know, and I have played with a peace cleric because my sister plays one in our home game, as long as Eden and I are within 30 feet of each other, we get a D4 to attack rolls, ability checks, saving throws.
It's like a close range bless.
Kind of, yes. But if either of us go outside of that 30-foot range, we no longer get that bonus.
Gotcha.
Good.
Awesome.
Okay, you should be all set now. Just, you know, it's always good to say a little prayer, you know?
Okay.
Thank you, dear. And like Perrin gives her like a kiss on the knuckles, and then she turns to Eden. So, what kind of entry are you going to make for us?
Well, what I could do is I can turn into like this really big thing and just kick the door down.
Professor, I don't. I don't.
Oh, did y'all want to be quiet?
At least initially, until
Oh,
we know what we're dealing with.
That would probably be the best idea. You don't want somebody to come out and just slit your throat right away when you enter in the building.
they can't hurt me.
Huh.
Right. Could you give me just a minute? And Perrin's just gonna like take a look around and see if there are any like entryways that is not a door.
That's not a door. Okay, so doing a quick case around the building, the windows that are up on like what would be like, I guess like sunlights, but not really sunlights, but like the high tier windows go all the way around until they get to including the back, and then in the back there is a double like a carriage service door almost. So like giant double barn style doors.
Okay. Are any of the windows open?
I would say there's one in the back above the window, or above the kind of back right hand side of the warehouse.
Okay.
Not directly under the doors, a little bit to the
All right.
looking at it would be your left. Or actually,
I'm gonna go over to the barn doors and I'm just gonna give them like a test pull and see if they have any give.
give me a sleight of hand real quick.
Sure.
'Cause you're trying to do it like a little love, like you're trying to do a little love tap type thing. Right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. I'm just trying to see if it'll move, right? Like if it's barred or not. Great. Thank you, Umber Oculus. For a 9.
Wait. But the
Oh,
how
D4.
close-
Are you
Yeah.
are you gonna follow him all the way around? I imagine you would, but
It's
we'll-
Eden. It's
It's-
Eden
okay.
that has to stay.
oh, it's Eden that has to
I
stay.
mean-
Going forward. So.
Yeah, Eden will probably follow
We'll case
just
it
because
together.
Eden's like
Cool.
pretty nonchalant about the whole thing.
That's an 11.
An 11. Okay, so you give it that little bit of a love tap. The door jars for a minute, for a second, where it like gives that little like, chum, but it feels like you can continue to pull those doors open.
Perrin just kind of like looks back at everyone and says, well, we happen to have a very accessible entry point here without any concerns for locks or breaking in. We just kind of have to stay as quiet as possible.
Okay.
Understood. I'm understood.
All right. And so Perrin is going to set himself in like a sort of, I guess you could say like Ronan would know this better than anybody, but like that like firm karate stance, but with like the with the handles of the barn doors
like
in
a
each
rower,
hand.
like a rower.
Yeah, and then get ready to pull the doors as forcefully and quietly as possible.
Okay.
Power stance.
Yeah, go ahead and give me a stealth check then.
Stealth
Please and
check
thank you.
with a D4. Thank you, sis.
No problem.
That is significantly better. The Umbraloculus dice gets to stay. That is a 21.
All right. So I'm gonna get to do this. Hopefully this works. And don't fuck me over, Streamlabs. As I'm gonna show you some things, as you can quietly open it enough for even like the broadest shouldered of the four of you to enter, and you can see. I'm gonna move some things around now, as we are on the battle map. I'm gonna be doing a lot of wiggling. All right, so we have Perrin. You're in first.
Yep.
All right, you're in right over here. I imagine you're going to duck in really quick. Who's second and third and fourth? What's kind of the marching order?
I believe it was Eden, and then I would definitely be like right near where Eden is.
Okay.
I believe.
Everybody else going through, go ahead and give me stealth checks as well, please.
Uh-huh.
I mean, you guys can all kind of get
Cool.
right into this
Dirty 20.
back corner. Hale, you want to be in the back?
Yes, please.
Yeah. All right.
I got a 21, so you know,
A 21.
21.
Who knew that sneaking around to get mama's desserts would come in handy?
I just gotta be really quiet or my deities get really angry.
Oh, your deity sound.
21,
Very
dirty 20.
interesting.
Hale, how'd you do?
Oh, I got 2.
Oh, you got a 2. Great. Thankfully, because of the law of averages, that's still a group success, which is what we'll call this for now. As you go in and you make your way around, for my party, feel free to pin this if you already haven't done so that way you guys can see a nice big blown up version. But yeah, so this is what you see before you. The warehouse is open. All of the dark brown lines are where walls would be. This section up here in the back, because you guys can see pretty clearly the sunlight, even though it is kind of that overcast gray, there's still light coming in from the windows that are all around you. Above you, the back portion back here is actually the kind of lofted area that's above your heads. So when you guys walk in, you're immediately maybe like 20 feet, and then there's a lofted ceiling above you. Far on the other end, though, Perrin, you first, followed by Eden, and then Finara, as the three of you enter kind of first, and then Hale coming in the back end. Notice that there is a human and a dwarf kind of grumbling to themselves, and they're being loud as they're like going through crates, opening them up, looking at them, and then like tossing the crates aside. And then a hobgoblin on the back here, which is the roof of that entryway that you had looked into, Eden.
Does this human and dwarf look familiar?
Ooh, go ahead and give me, you're looking at the back of them, but go ahead and give me a insight.
Oh, I'm not good at that.
Where the hobgoblin
I'm
is,
really
that's
good
elevated?
That's a 25.
The hobgoblin's elevated probably about 10 feet. Yeah,
Got
this is a little balcony that overlooks the rest of the warehouse. This in the center is a giant crane mechanism that's over this like graded area. This graded area with like a wheel mechanism to one side as well. I don't have the wheel mechanism, but
That is a 25 total.
the human does not, but the dwarf looks strangely familiar.
That son of a mother. And Eden will slowly start to creep forward a little bit.
Oh, where are you
I'm
going?
gonna put you in front of the two of them.
That was the one that took my money.
Which one? Both of them took your money?
No, the chubby beardy one.
Oh, well, I don't know if that's the best idea right now.
Wait, here's an idea. You guys, I have a different idea. Are they gonna be? You know what? I'm gonna try to talk to him.
How loud are you being How loud are you being when you're having this? I feel like it started at like a 2, and then it elevated when you said I'm gonna go to talk to him to like a 6 or a 7.
Eden will casually like be quiet briefly, and then make it so she just like is maybe 15 feet away from him. And it was just like, hi, I was lost.
Holy
I'm looking.
fucking shit! As the
Oh, damn it.
That's really bad language. I was looking for a friend of mine who said they were going to help me, and I followed. Oh, hey, there you are. Did you find that map that you said you were going to get for me? And I will walk a little closer.
Yeah. How did you what? Yeah, the map. About that map.
You didn't lie to me, did you?
No. The map's actually in the main office. Yeah, it's in the main office. Let me go and grab that. And at this point, like they kind of look in that general direction. Huh.
That helped me find my way around because I got lost and I didn't have a map because I was waiting on somebody, you know.
Yeah.
Yes, Mr.
As a seasoned liar, can I suss out whether or not this man or this dwarf is lying?
Yeah, go ahead and give me an insight check, please.
Cool.
In the meantime, can I look around and use perception to try to see if these people seem to have weapons on them? Any useful information for our party?
Yeah, what's your passive? I'm gonna base it on that.
My passive perception is 20.
Fuck you. I mean, what?
Yeah.
Jesus.
That's my girl.
By the gods, I think Eden's is also pretty high as well. Gosh.
So is mine. So I also want to assess for threats and things like that.
Okay.
I'm at a 19.
Yeah, so looking around at weapons, they all have weapons on them. The dwarf and the human both seem to have shields slung on their back, mace or like clubs on their hips. The hobgoblin up top has a short sword or like some sort of sword. You imagine it's not sticking out the bottom end. So it's probably a short sword, and then a bow in one hand and like a clump of arrows stuck at different points on the railing around around that kind of balcony. Does look from where you're at, there does look to be a weapon rack on the far end. Unlike the picture that I have, it's mostly clubs and quarterstaffs, things for like more like domestic.
Do I notice them whispering or saying anything to each other during that when I'm paying attention to that?
You would catch the dwarf whispering something. What languages do you know again?
Well, I do know Dwarvish,
All right.
Elvish, Goblin, Halfling, and Common.
That'll do it. You hear or like you watch as the dwarf lips in Dwarvish to the human, essentially the equivalent of like she must have followed me after I thought I'd given her the slip. Professor Hale, you immediately notice hobgoblin's got height. Like that's a big threat in terms of, height, bow. You would also know like dwarves are typically hardier. And not to be.
Do I hear anything above me on the floor?
Above you?
On the loft.
What's your passive?
19.
19. You do from like this general, pretty much, actually, right, surprisingly enough, pretty much right above you. Not footsteps, but like the scrape, like as if something's shifting on the wood, like sliding on the wood as opposed to walking.
Sorry to cut you off there.
Yes,
Taryn. That was a 23 on my insight check to check if he's lying.
Oh yeah, 100%. 100%. He's like got a little bit of a furrow, like or bead of sweat on his brow.
I was just, my passive insight and passive perception are 16.
Yeah, that's high enough to know that, like,
I mean, she knows he's.
yeah, I mean, at this point, I feel like Hale and Perrin would have done a good enough job as you were walking there, and even in La Imite, of like fostering and like letting you know like what a con was and what that situation was to some extent. But yeah, this guy doesn't seem trustworthy. He doesn't look friendly, and honestly looks shocked and surprised that you somehow traced him all the way back here.
I'd like to be right beside her, please.
Okay, you're welcome.
Fanar would
So-
immediately follow because she
Um,
sees that Perrin scoots forward.
Are you gonna try to give me the slip and go out the door and run away from me, or are you gonna actually give me the map that she said you're gonna get me? 'Cause-
Actually, I saw what he was saying, and he actually said that he had already given you the slip, just so you know.
well, that's really rude. You know, my Bella always said that if you lie to people, then you should lose a finger, and I'm inclined to agree with her in this instant.
Not the reason we're here. Not the reason we're here. Just
I'm not gonna let you take a finger. I'm sorry.
Then you should probably not be a liar anymore. It's really hateful. I just needed help. Do you got the map though?
I do. It's in the office, like I said. I gotta go get it, or you can go get it. It's like right on top of a bunch of papers and books and stuff.
I'll let you get it.
That's not how this is going to go, actually. You're going to apologize to my friend here for lying, number one. Number two, bully the map that you don't have. Like, let's be honest. Like, you don't have a fucking map, mate. Like, let's be real.
pretty obvious.
Oh shit!
Oh.
There's you hear him like when Hale says something to the back. He goes, "Shit, there's 4."
Let's be honest. You have some things that aren't exactly yours. And I'm here to ensure that and he's going to get right in front of the dwarf. This 3'4" halfling is going to walk right up in front of the dwarf and go, I'm here to ensure that you, and he pokes him right in the chest, you give me exactly what you're not supposed to have.
You tell him, Perrin, because see, that's one thing he cannot be honest, because obviously he was not taught right and taught that honesty is the best policy.
Our mother did happen to teach us right. And Perrin pokes a little harder and goes, I would heavily suggest that you give me what belongs to Master Umber. And he just like glare checks him right in the eye, finger directly in the chest.
Yeah, go ahead and give me an intimidation check, please.
Yep.
Please and thank you.
When that happens, Fanar will lean down to try to be on like closer to where Perrin's head is to do her own glare.
That's a 10 because I rolled a 4.
It's a 10.
Can I assist since I'm also trying to use the art of intimidation?
I'll get between Eden and talking about a finger and Fanara doing the big sister, little big sister kind of over the shoulder. I'll give you advantage, Perrin. Yeah, that works.
That increased by 3 points. 13.
13. All right. He looks at you. Okay. I mean, this is all Umber's stuff here. We haven't taken any of it.
Why are you here? And Hale at this point has pulled out a book and he's just thumbing through it. He's not even looking up. He's leaning against the door, thumbing through a book, and says that.
I suggest you not lie because you already have 1 strike. Actually 2. 1 more and I will take your hand.
You might want to ease up on the taking of the hands and the fingers.
Is that not how you handle? That is what happens when you lie. I'm just saying.
It's just like an 8 when it needs to be like a 4.
Yeah,
Like
the-
it's just
Oh,
the hobgoblin up top. It's none of your business.
it is actually.
I mean, who are you to be here?
Who are you to be here?
I mean, we were sent here and got paid.
Me too. You're not so special.
Back, I'm.
She's making a good point because also too, it's very rude to interrupt someone's conversation. I don't think she was addressing you.
Yeah, you are not a part of this.
who sent you here and paid you to come here?
Oh, that's a good one.
Well, who sent you, or did you follow
Your mom.
Dwark here?
That's it. Okay.
As
Hey,
long as your mom is named
that's
Umber,
crossing
that's
the
okay.
line. You should never bring
Wait,
up
hang on,
someone's
what?
mama.
It took me that long to process that she just said your mom.
Eden fights like a 5-year-old.
Yeah, Perrin will put his hand up, turn
9
around,
even.
and look at Eden, and just, oh, all right, that's. Hold on now.
He
We were
started
sent.
it.
I know. We were sent here by Umber to ensure that his cargo or their cargo returned to the inn.
And it appears you guys have the opposite plan.
I mean, if I'm gonna be honest, we were just told to come here, look around, take anything that looked nice. We had to keep it, so it's like easy job, right?
But you're stealing too. See, this is what happens when you don't cut fingers for being liars.
And this is the part where Perrin goes from poking in the chest to grabbing the scruff of the collar. By who?
Whom?
And you
What's
hear
a home?
he goes,
Oh, wait.
but, and he starts gargling, and like his throat he starts convulsing in your hand, and from his mouth opens, and you hear like the breaking of his jaw almost, as this little red kind of amorphous blob hits where his like teeth are, and jumps towards you. I need you to make a Constitution saving throw, please.
See, that's why
Oh,
you shouldn't lie. Bad
jeez.
shit happens.
Constitution saving throw.
Correct.
Remember that extra
I got you. Thank you, love.
Oh,
Okay, 9, 10, 11.
11. As you are right up in his face, the blob attaches to yours, coalesces, goes into your mouth. You feel it going into the back of your throat. You convulse for a second. Your eyes roll back. You're back to normal.
Okay.
You're there holding him kind of in his face still, like, and he looks completely fine as well.
Who sent you?
No.
What?
That- no, don't.
What am I doing here?
Perrin grabs him with both hands now and shoves him up against the barrel and goes, I said who sent you.
Hail.
Did you?
With that slam, you also hear to your left the opening of that staple door. Ever so slightly, and you see a face kind of peek through the crack.
Do I recognize the face?
You don't recognize the face. It looks kind of very vaguely because you have what I think you said a 16 perception.
19.
Oh God, what? I don't like these numbers.
And a
guys.
21
Don't-
passive
What the
investigation.
What the hell? I'm in danger. No, you can see from half its face. There's a tusk sticking out from the lower lip. It looks half orc in nature, but that's all you can discern from where you're at. But it looks
Okay.
peeks really quick and then closes the door, and you hear it rattle again. Honestly, I don't. What I remember you, and he points at Eden. Do you want your? I'll give you your money back. Just
Yes.
whatever.
Hand it over now. As Eden walks up with her hand out.
And he pulls out a coin purse and like goes to hand it over.
Snags coin purse and briefly has to flip my D2 to see what Eden does. Okay, we're good. She takes the coin purse. You're lucky. She kind of backs up a little bit. Just like, yeah, stays like kind of right in there with her coin purse and is like opening and counting.
Yeah, Finara.
Did Fenara notice the creature that jumped from the dwarf's mouth to her brother?
Oh, 100%. Yeah. Eden did as well.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so
Hale, vaguely, you see something, but it was like, it was split second.
for that, in that moment, would because of my perception and stuff, would I have been able to determine what that was?
Go ahead and make a nature check. I'll say with disadvantage because it happened in such an instant, but your perception was high enough where you might be able to identify it.
Okay. Probably not. It was 8.
8. No, whatever it, like, there wasn't, the biggest thing that you can catch is that there wasn't anything solid. It looked like whatever it was kind of like a weird, soupy kind of texture.
Fenara's gonna tap Perrin on the shoulder. Perrin, I know you're a little occupied right now, but I don't know if you saw that there was something red creature thing that jumped from his mouth into yours. I'm really concerned right now for your health and your well-being.
He made the red puke on you.
This is when Perrin takes the dwarf by both sides and then like pulls him down onto the ground like very roughly. So I'd like to
Go ahead and make a contested athletics check for me.
Yeah, please and thank you.
That's cocked.
Oh, that's dope.
Okay. Plus strength. Okay.
16.
19. So you go to pull him, and like this whole time, like you've been manhandling him like a baby, right? And you slam him against the wall, and you go to pull, and you look up in your rage, and you just see this smirk across his face. And he goes, "I don't think so this time." And he reaches for his club. I need everybody to roll initiative. And wow, I just said initiative. Initiative. That's how I'm gonna say it. There we go. I have spoken initiative every time.
I expect that every single time we go into initiative. If you don't say initiative, then I'm gonna be upset.
That sucks. Okay, that's good. Okay, that's all right. I vocalized my roles. I'm sorry.
Hey, Eden.
Wow.
Make sure you roll a d4 for that because that's where it works too.
And attack rolls as well. Don't forget.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, once per turn we get this d4.
Only once.
That's okay. That's all it needs. Sweet diggity dog. This is bad. I have to decide how Eden's doing this.
And if you see me looking over, it's because I have the nice, beautiful D&D Beyond combat tracker over on the side here. Kaiden, what'd you get?
11.
11. Perrin.
10.
Ooh, nice. Finn.
I got a whopping 3.
Cool, as all clerics should.
Cleric initiative.
And Eden.
Eden got 19 because of the dice. I rolled a 4 on the D4. It's a good thing.
Let me click. Can I click run? Will you let me click run? There we go. Start. Well, Eden, you are up first.
She sees him.
What would you like to do?
She sees the dwarf reaching for his club. And her, like, because she also sees him clearly about to attack her new best friends, her eyes glaze over black, except the irises are red. And she begins to mutter something in a really low tone. And I'm going to cast Dissonant Whispers on the dwarf. And I need them to make a wisdom saving throw.
I'm gonna move you back in that direction, closer to the wall. Perrin,
yep, that's fair.
Wisdom saving throw for the dwarf, you said?
Yes, please.
Awesome. Umbra Oculus. That is a 12.
That is a 12. That is a fail.
Okay.
And then they will take 3d6 psychic damage.
Oh no.
And then they are afraid of me and will run as far away from me as they can. That is 9, 10, 11 points of psychic damage.
11 points. Oh, I'm on the wrong thing, guys. Hitting numbers on my keypad when I should. I'm hitting the wrong keypad. Okay, so you hit that. You reach out and connect the minds with him and give him this burst of energy, and you watch as his face like was ready to go as he's reaching for his mace and then like reaching back for his shield, and he immediately like looks as if the constant like finger and then upgraded to hand, and now he's like, oh fuck, she's coming for it, and like immediately blank slate, like complete fear struck into his face.
Absolutely. In his head, he's just hearing like, you should have just let me take your finger because now I'm taking every single. She's just
DM.
Yes.
He now has to move his entire speed as a reaction away from her. I would also like to use my reaction to slash out at him as he decides to run away from me.
Yes, you may do that.
Thank you.
He's gonna get to about there. He'll get to the door to get in is over here, so that would lead underneath.
9, 13.
13. He did not draw. Oh well, that would have hit anyway. Yeah, that hits.
Okay. So I need, as I quick draw my rapier and just poke him in the back.
Yeah. Eden, remind me please, when he takes damage, does he get to make the save? Or is it just at the end of his
No, it's just that one time and he's just terrified for a minute. Cool. Yeah, and then he just runs away.
Awesome,
so that's it.
10 piercing damage.
Holy
yeah, I rolled max damage.
Cool. Awesome. Anything else?
Eden? I will say bonus action. Let me make sure because it's been a while since I've done the spells, you guys. I'm just going to I'm not gonna do it. I'm just going to back it up, maybe like I'm gonna kind of go to Eden's left about 10 feet ish, somewhere over there, just somewhere I don't
that
a little
left?
further back, other left, and like I want to be able to I want to be within range of people.
All right, I'll put you like there, and the crane will give you the crane will give you quarter cover.
Sweet. That's also kind of what I was hoping with Mr. Bow and Arrow Boy.
Mm-hmm.
And that is my turn. Yes.
Or is it half and 3/4 or quarter and half?
Half and 3/4 cover.
That'll give you half. Sorry.
Okay. Sweet.
They need to make a quarter cover.
They do.
The hobgoblin starts to draw the longbow, the longbow, and as he does, he lets out a yell really quick. And where is my notes? Tell him to yell the name. He comes out and he goes, "Imps, get out of here!" And we'll fire one off at you, parents, since you're kind of closest and down low.
Sure.
Or actually, no, he wouldn't have been able to see you because you were up against the wall.
Correct.
So he's going to go for Finara since now she's out in the open.
I'm not nervous at all.
The first arrow he looses and it like clinks off the side of the crane, and he pulls another arrow and knocks it really quick and lets it go. Wow. Well, dice jail already. Shame on you, Umbra. Oculus, our sponsor, put in the word barefoot for your chance to win one of these amazing Umbra Oculus dice that definitely roll above a 5.
To be fair, when I gave him these D20s, I did send a Will Wheaton gif immediately after. Yeah,
it was really harmful, and my psyche will never recover. But he shoots out 2 arrows, lets out that yell, and then he's going to kind of semi-duck as he's pulling for more arrows. Homeboy over here, Dwarf Boy, is terrified. He's going to run into the doorway and start to run just completely out. He is gone and out of sight, and he's taken a lot of damage in less than 6 seconds, and he's just nope. And he's like, "Oh, I'll get help, Beck. I promise." no, I won't. As he's running out the door, you hear the double doors from the front entryway swing open and hit as well as he's now kind of clear and through. Hill, your turn.
Okay. I know what the hobgoblin's doing. What's the human currently doing?
The human is pulling out a mace and a shield. It looks to be eyeing Perrin at this point.
Okay. So I will. Do I have visual on the hobgoblin?
The hobgoblin from where you are, it'd be a tough shot just because the crane's in the way. But yeah, you have enough of a visual.
All right. Let me just step over to my right one, and as long as I'm within 60 feet.
You're.
I'm at the the other way.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You're right. My left.
And
yeah, you're within 60.
He'll snap his book shut, and I will concentrate and put my hand in my temple, and everyone around me will just hear a male voice shrieking out, just no, 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 and I'm going to send it over to the hobgoblin, and I'm going to do Kaiden's curse, and he's got to roll a wisdom save. I don't know which die is going to betray me now. This one, no.
I'm going to use the one I'm going to give away, because then we can... Hey, that's a good roll. That's a 16 wisdom saving throw.
Yep,
16.
That succeeds.
16.
So that succeeds to just fill the air and just kind of wash over him.
And he, at this point, now feels it and like moves and like directs eye contact from Fenara over to you as he's picking up another arrow. Anything else for your turn?
That's it.
All right, Perrin, your turn.
I turn to the man who is apparently eyeballing me, and I give him the up and down, and with a fury that my sister has never seen my entire life, I look at him and I go, "So, are you going to be as big of a bitch as your friend is?" And I will cast Vicious Mockery.
Yeah, of course he will. Hey, that's not bad.
Perrin,
That's
your language.
That's
your
a wisdom,
language.
That is a wisdom save. Yes.
That's a 15.
That's your language, buddy.
15 is a successful save.
Of course, it's the die I'm giving away.
Yep. So that'll be what I do with my action.
All right.
And then let me see. Actions. Yep. I'm gonna look to Fenara and then say, "Hi. Language or not, could you like help me here?" And I'll give you a bardic inspiration.
Hey, all right. No, just be careful. Just
Be careful. Awesome. With that, the human looks at you and like growls, "I ain't no dwarf, bitch," and is gonna take 2 steps and just get right in your face, and will take 2 steps or swings with his mace at you.
Sure.
The first one, cool. I need to go back to using the other die. First one's a 12, so he swings out. I can bet that misses, and you just duck out of the way. It catches a little bit of like your vest as you're like peeling away. But the second one comes in, and miraculously enough, he goes to like sweep your legs out from under you. As
I jump.
It's 2 more unbroculous dice go into the dice gel. And he goes to sweep your legs out from under you. You jump up, and it just sails over, and you land back on your feet as if nothing ever happened. And he looks at you and he's like, "You're a quick bugger, aren't you?"
"Oh, you might not be the bitch, but I'm going to make you mine." And that'll be the last thing I say to him.
Oh, nope, don't like that.
Are you muted?
I think you're muted.
You're muted.
I'm muted.
anything.
I was saying he kicks. Damn it! The whole exposition. This half orc kicks open the door, has the bow out, keeps the arrow and like the bow in one hand, and pulls out the short sword in the other. Runs toward you. Manages to close. First swipe comes in across the chest, and you go to try to block it with your staff, and he slices under. That's going to be a 22 to hit because Umbral Oculus likes hurting Ronan. 4.
That's 12 more than you needed there, cowboy.
I tried really hard on that one. That's going to be 4 points of damage as you take the first one.
Yep. That's not good.
And then he's gonna swing back around and kind of upper hand with it, and that's gonna be an 8 to hit, which I guarantee you doesn't. This time you're waiting for it, so you bring the staff back down and manage to block and deflect it, but you're face to face with this half orc as he's growling and kind of looking over his shoulder at the rest of the scene to make sure everything's kind of going smoothly with the other guys, which it probably isn't. That's his turn. Finara, your turn.
Okay, so the one guy who was getting smart was the human, right? That kind of stepped
right there
in front of Perrin.
Yep.
Okay, so Finara, after seeing this, hey buddy, why don't you pick on somebody closer to your size? And I'm actually going to be casting when I'm pointing in that direction, Sanctuary. So that's a bonus action. So I'm warding Perrin, and I'm at the same time I'm telling this individual who's obviously trying to target his attack that if he tries to do that, he's gonna have to make a wisdom saving throw in order to try to make an attack on someone else, which is basically me. I'm basically trying to be the new target of the attack for my brother.
Ooh, fancy.
So after I say that,
some fancy toys.
after I say that, how close? Because I'm a little bit further away. I'm going to, because I can do this because it's a cantrip. I'm going to attempt to cast Sacred Flame in his
100%.
Direction.
Yeah, you can 100% do that. You're only maybe about 15 feet at the most away.
So he's going to need to do a Dexterity saving throw for me.
Ooh, no, that's a fail. That's only 5.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna let you know here, sis, that you can add that D6 to this damage if you want to. Just gonna.
Oh,
what?
I really appreciate that. Okay, hold on. Let me do this. Oh, that's amazing. That's 13 points of damage. So there, you just see where there's just a bright light that comes around her hand, and it shoots out in his direction. And yeah, I want him to notice Finara, Valar, and not forget this face.
All right. And he like looks down and then looks over and sees you, and now is kind of torn between which two that he wants to hit more. But in the meantime, while he's trying to figure that out, we're back up at the top with Eden behind the crane. What would you like to do?
I have so many options. Dagnabbit, if I could do that all in one turn, it'd be great, but I can't. Eden, seeing that Kiki is getting assaulted, she will be very upset, and her eyes as she spins to turn around, Kaiden, you will see that they are still black with red irises, and she will like just throw her hand out, and the palm of her hand like splits open, and two very thorny vines like leap out and separate from her hand and lunge at the half orc. And let me roll the dice, as they are two separate attacks. That is a 16 and a 24 to hit.
Yeah.
Both of
those
okay.
Both those hit. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
A poor little
Okay. And I need them to make let's start with one strength save real quick.
Yeah, nope.
Okay.
It's a
Then
5.
yeah, no, that fails. Then they will take 7 13 points. What is this one? What did we go for? Piercing damage as these very thorny vines wrap around them, and then they are restrained until the end of their next turn.
Oh wow.
When the vines wither and die.
That is fun. That's from both of them.
Yeah, that's total. That is Briar's reach. And then Eden will run up on this half orc. And she is very angry looking as she is looming behind the half orky person. And looks like she gonna eat him. So that's my turn.
All right. With that, it is the hobgoblin's turn. He's going to seeing, and as those vines come out and wrap themselves around the half orc, it hits the neck a little, and as it tightens to restrain, the half orc coughs up in front of you, Hale, as tons of blood comes out. No, nothing else, Red. No worries, you're good. For now, and just looks really, really rough from that hit. The hobgoblin, seeing this, is going to knock one and show Imsh and fire a shot toward Eden's general direction, and that's going to be a 17 to hit Eden.
That hits Eden, and just as a fun fact, this is the first time Eden's ever been hurt.
Oh no.
So as the arrow hits her, she just lets out like a absolute like scream, and is just like kind of doing the Ace Ventura thing of staring at where this arrow is lodged. I'm like,
Yeah, he gets you kind of like in the like right underneath the shoulder blade, so like you're looking underneath there, like
yeah, she's
freaking out.
Yeah, screaming.
As you take 7 points of piercing damage. He's gonna knock and loose the second one over at you, Finara. Seeing that you've beaten up his wow, that misses too. And he draws. That's gonna be a 8 to hit. So it just glances off your armor. Managed to kind of get to the one side where it just bounces.
How rude!
I mean, we're fighting. It's kind of that works. And the dwarf, that's the end of his turn. The dwarf.
Yeah, Eden, after briefly screaming, is just like, I'm gonna freaking kill you. And that's, yeah.
I love the level of like 5-year-old smack talk that goes on. That was rude. No, you're rude. Let me go tell your mom. Dwarf is no
Bernard's
longer
ready.
here.
She's gonna find their mothers and give them a talk.
Drag them by the ear.
Yes.
Kaiden.
Okay. This dude's right in my face. So I will reach out my hand and put it to his temple. Mm-hmm. And a flash of blue sort of arcane energy will start at my head and run down my arm into his. And I will say, "We will show you pain." And I'm going to cast Mind Sliver.
That's an 18. I'm guessing.
God.
Yeah, he does these Umbral Oculus hate Ronan.
I hate Terran.
Do you want to kill Ronan Fox? Use Umbral Oculus dice. just throwing at him does like 1d12.
It's just your sworn enemy. Whoever you pick is your sworn enemy.
Goodness.
Yeah, right.
But you're not my enemy, you're my brother.
Mm-hmm. All right. I'm gonna stand there like a chump because I can't move. Wait, what's his condition?
He's restrained.
Oh, yeah.
That wouldn't work on. That doesn't work.
No, it doesn't work on end saves.
He can take reaction. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a attack of opportunity with disadvantage.
Yeah, if you wanted to move.
I do.
I think it would be smart.
I mean, he knows that you're about as rough as he is, so.
I do. Yeah, I do. I do. Actually, I forgot about that. I do want to move. It's calculated risk.
You want to move? I'm guessing you want to move this way, like behind Eden?
Yes.
Okay, I'll put it there.
I see there's another mini, but I only saw the one, right? So I don't know that there's anything there, right?
Well, he kicked open the door, so you would see farther back that there is a horse in the stable. like
Oh, it's a
looks
horse, okay.
yeah, it looks it's a dire wolf.
It's a dire wolf.
It's an owlbear, guys.
Nice.
Oh.
That's fine. Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay, cool. If you want to go in, you have enough movement to get like inside if you wanted to like get like there.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, and the hobgoblin, that's a tough shot. That's a eye of a needle type of shot. Cool. So attack disadvantage. Yeah, that's an 8 and a 4. So the 4 plus 4, 8 does not hit Professor Hale. He swings out, but the vines are just restraining him, and he like cuts through a couple of the vines as they're now starting to wither. But they, but he doesn't get a clean strike at you, and you continue into the shed or in the stable.
I hate Karen.
I forgot that I have to continue initiative. Perrin, your turn.
Right. So Perrin at this point is holding a rapier in one hand and looking at the guy in front of him and just smiles. And then he takes like a big deep breath in, and then he hits like a really high C note with his voice, and it just projects at him, and I'm gonna cast Thunder Wave.
Apparently Umber Oculus doesn't like Brene either. That's Constitution, right? So that's 18.
A con save, yeah. He still takes damage,
Yes.
but he just doesn't move 10 feet away from me. So he will take half of 9, which is 4 thunder damage.
Awesome. He takes it, and he manages to kind of pull his shield as you're taking that inhale in to kind of block some of that wave pressure. But he's starting to look pretty rough. He kind of see from like his eardrum or his ears, blood starting to trickle down over his face, and he looks slightly disoriented, ears ringing, but still on his feet.
So
Bonus action.
Yep, we're gonna look around and then see the like sliver of the opening that I can see the professor behind, and I just kind of like and I'm gonna healing word.
I will interpretive
Oh my gosh.
healing interpretive dance. I love it.
It's more like the visual. What the fuck are you doing? And you will be healed for 7 hit points. With
Oh,
healing
hang
word.
on. Thunderwave's leveled, right? So
Yes. Oh, right. So I can't do
you
that.
Can't. I'm sorry. I
can't
have to
do that.
remember my own rules.
No,
because
eventually
it'll
you're right.
become
You're absolutely
important.
right. Instead, I
Logan.
will give
Thanks.
him. I will give him a bardic inspiration instead.
It also just happened to
was-
be It
yes.
also just happened to be Rodent. So
Bardic
Still
inspiration.
this.
you start to
It's
feel
still
all
this.
warm and goody inside, and then just kind of feel inspired instead of healed.
Yeah.
Awesome. Homeboy in front of you. Oh man, this is a tough choice. You know what? He feels. I'm gonna roll for it. Yeah, he's gonna run. He's gonna turn and he's going to just charge straight at you in an attempt to take a couple swings at you. So
Can I
Perrin,
get my reaction?
Yeah, 100%. Go ahead.
So, 13, 15 to hit.
Yeah, that hits. Go ahead and roll your damage.
Yeah. I would love to take him down just before he walks away from me. That would be great. That's 10 piercing damage.
10. You stab into him, and you get right through. And like Fanara, as he's walking toward you, you see the tip of Perrin's rapier come out through the front. And this brute of a human, just continues walking through it. Badly bloody, coughing, blood pouring out of the ears. He's going to make 2 swings at you, Fanara.
Okay.
The first is going to be a 16 plus 4, dirty 20.
Yes.
For 7 points of damage.
All right.
And then he's going to come and try, as he like hammers into, and you try to get. What weapon do you like? Would you wield, or what are in your like? Do you keep your hands free, or like?
Well, I was trying to reach when I saw that he was charging at me. I was trying to get my crossbow from my back. I have a light crossbow, but I do have a dagger. So now he's really close. So yeah, now dagger's looking like a better option.
Awesome. So he comes and smashes into the front of your breastplate that you're wearing with the first hit. Wow, that's another dirty 20. They don't like Umbral Oculus starting to get, Umbral Oculus, everybody, it has a learning curve. Once it tastes the blood of your players, it starts to do better. So start with the wizard and then work your way to the cleric.
Somehow I'm feeling more nourished, though. It's really strange.
You look younger. Like, what, are you in your teens now? Like,
ooh.
What? I'm trying to compliment that she's younger than
I mean,
19
is
she's got the skin of a child.
Sure.
Just say I'm in my
All
20s
right.
again, and we'll be fine with that.
Whatever, in your 20s. Yeah. I was trying not to like
There we
age
go.
you for everybody watching.
I mean, I'm 20.
Yeah. That's gonna be 5 points of damage for the second hit. Awesome.
Oh.
I'm not as old as Ronan.
Wow.
He's looking- ooh.
This is.
Thanks.
All right. The half orc, is it at the end of or at the end of the turn that they wither, or at the start of their turn that they wither? Eden.
At the end of their turn.
At the end of the turn.
Yeah.
So he is going to stand there, and let's see,
Yeah, it says the end of their next turn. The vine withers.
is going to make the calculated decision to drop the short sword at his feet and just kind of put his hands up. He's not going to say anything, but he's just going to kind of go like this.
Well, we'll see.
Finara, your turn.
Because they hurt Kiki.
And
Angie,
this
Angie.
individual, he's still standing.
Mm-hmm.
Is he looking as bloody as I am right now?
He's looking like he's like, I heard no bell, like just reeling, like he's got the partially concussed look on his face, but yeah, he's looking real rough.
Finish him.
I'll have you know that my mama didn't raise no punk. And then she's gonna take the dagger and try to stab it in his torso.
Okay. Yeah, go for it. Make an attack roll for me, please.
Oh, man.
That's 6 points of damage.
Wait, you got to roll to
You have to
attack.
hit.
You got to hit. You got to see if you hit first.
I'm sorry. I didn't tell you that it was a 17 plus 4.
Oh, yeah,
so
that hit.
I'm
hits.
sorry. I just went with the damage ahead of time.
Yeah, no. 6 points of damage, you said?
Yes.
All right. As you stab this dagger into this human's chest, how would you like to kill him?
So after I said that, I will thrust that dagger so far into his chest and I twist it. And then I pull it out and push him away from me.
All right. The body slinks and falls to the floor, blood starting to pool out from underneath. Anything else with your turn?
Then you will see where Finara, after doing that, because she had a rush of adrenaline, but then she's looking at herself and the damage that she's taken, and she'll say, "Oh my!" And then she's gonna go to her knees because she's seriously, and so yeah, she's just not in good shape. So yeah, she's fallen a little bit because now she's in danger. She's in danger.
Awesome. Back up to the top. Eden.
Well, I flipped a coin for it.
Yeah.
So as this person raises their hands, Eden's eyes do not lighten up, and she stays glaring at them, and she kind of like, there's a growling sound that comes from like the pit of her chest as her fingers elongate and her nails grow into acid dripping claws, and I am going to primal savagery this person across their arm, trying to I'm attempting to take their arm off. That is a 14 plus 6, which is a dirty 20.
Yeah, go ahead and roll damage for that.
It's 9.
How would you like to kill this defenseless half-orc?
Basically she overslashes. She's going to take off the hand arm, and it just goes straight across the whole torso. And then so I can cast like a cantrip and then a spell on the same turn as long as it's...
Yes, you can cast a bonus it's a bonus action of one or the other. Yeah.
Okay, but
action
can't
of one
spend spell slots more than
Yeah.
And she will turn to Kiki. Yeah, it's sticking. And she will open her mouth, and a rosebud will come out and open up, and there's like a very high-pitched hum, and I cast Healing Word. First level on Kiki, because that's never going away. Ever. I have to look it up.
I love how everybody's just saying random noises to Kaiden, and he's just like, what is going on?
That is 7 points of healing that you feel is like
Thank you.
kind of almost like the smell of roses and like a little bit of pollen like wisps in your face. And then the rose like falls out of her mouth, and and that's my turn.
Okay.
As
awesome.
I will go ahead and move like 10 feet to behind the crane so I get some cover again, and I am glaring at the jerk with the arrow.
Let me roll for the hobgoblin. Yeah. The hobgoblin looks around like he's getting ready to pick up another arrow. And he has the arrow in his hand, he's going to knock it, and he's, I don't get paid enough for this, and he's gonna jump off the ledge, and then just try and dash out of the front of the building.
Yeah, you better run. That's right.
And we are out of combat.
Eden runs to the door.
You run to the door?
Yeah.
As you run to the door, your watch is now he's like, a good 60 feet into the crowd, heading back toward the wharf, where you guys came. Not really looking behind you. The crowd is starting to kind of intermingle, and you're beginning to lose sight of him.
Perrin will run to his sister. And he will take out of his little leather pouch the 7 remaining good berries that he has, and he just goes, you need to eat these like right now, like you need. And he just like pushes her hair out of her face and just starts like feeding her berry after berry after berry, and so you get 7 hit points of good berries, and like you don't need to eat for the rest of the day.
Well, that's a lot of fiber.
I really appreciate that. It was a little scary. I was seeing bright lights, but that could have been me. I'm
No,
really...
you did wonderfully. You did fantastically. You were incredibly brilliant. And he just kind of like leans in real close. You killed someone today.
Oh, I actually didn't think about the fact that I definitely did take another's life. Oh
Right.
no. Don't tell Mom and Dad. Do not tell. Oh my God.
He grabs her by the shoulders and like centers her.
Oh.
Listen, we are not going home anytime soon. So who I am not going to tell anyone. Just there are 2 magical words that I put together with a hyphen or a dash. It's called self-defense, and it is not your fault.
You know what? You're absolutely right. When I said what I said to that bad man, I was saying the truth, because Mama did say she didn't raise any punks, and we're supposed to protect ourselves as best we can and protect each other at all costs. She didn't technically say that I couldn't kill somebody if necessary, right?
No, you're right. And he just kind of like leads her over to the crane and like sits her down and leans her up against it. I want you to sit here for a minute and just relax. Professor.
Eden will about this time Eden will fumble back in and her eyes kind of return to normal, and then she falls over on her side in the fetal position and just starts bawling, holding the arrow sticking out of her side, and that's what Eden is doing currently.
So seeing that, Fanara is gonna definitely get up to go over and be like, Eden, oh my goodness, I can take care of this. Just lay still. Be calm.
I'm so bad. Why do people do this?
I know. I mean,
Like,
I
no
technically
words.
still bleeding myself, so I understand. Because this is my first time getting. I got afflicted. I got hurt,
I don't like it.
and
This is
I
what
know
people do.
it's not fun. They make it seem so glamorous and cool, and it's not. The pain it hurts. It's not fun. I don't know why people just they don't talk about this when they're talking about all these adventures and such. And so she's gonna try to hold wherever the arrow is. She's basically taking out of her bag her herbalism kit. So she's trying to basically remove the arrow in the most gentlest way possible. So she might put a little bit of some powders that were crushed up around the wound. That's basically kind of numbing powder, so to speak, like anesthetic in a way. And then she's going to try to remove it from Eden's shoulder and then try to tend to her wounds.
Yeah. So basically, while Hale and Perrin are having their discussion, they just hear like the Wilhelm scream of Eden getting an arrow dislodged.
Oh, I'm sorry. Just deal with it for just a little bit longer. And she's still tending to Eden's wounds.
So at this point, Hale I'm standing over the orc, kind of reconstructing everything. By all that point, by the time Eden got back and the arrow's out, then I probably would be walking towards the human. I'm just basically taking notes on descriptions of who they are, what the spells were that were cast on it, basically the battle, the summation of the battle.
Give me a quick Arcana check. Your perception's high enough where you saw the entire thing unfold, but in terms of like naming spells and recognizing like components and things like that.
My God, it's my first good roll of this entire campaign. 18.
Hey, all right, yeah, you are very accurately able to narrow down the spell usage of your allies, kind of who was using it on who, and like all of the good stuff that you need for your notes.
Perrin, did you need something?
I just wanted to make sure that you were around so that we could, gather up everyone together. And you're all right.
Yeah. Every time you do this, you need to learn something. So
I'm sorry. Every time you do this, you've done this more than once.
no, but it seems like it's going to be a thing now.
Well, I mean, it could be worse. And he just kind of like scratches the back of his neck. So we should probably take a look around the rest of this place and try and find whatever it is that Umber's looking for.
Yeah, let's do that.
All right, where would you like to start?
Let's start where. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to ask, what the room I was in, the room, my hidey hole. Was there, obviously there was a horse, but was there anything of interest in there?
Yeah, I keep turning around like I don't have it right in front of me on my screen. But no, in there it was a pretty simple stable. To one side you saw like cleaning and grooming implements for the horse. The horse in there does look a little bit like frantic and skittish. To the other side looks to be a wagon, pretty well made and sturdy and stuff like that. Nothing inside of it. And then next to the wagon is like bridle and like all the stuff that you'd need to harness the horse to the wagon for operation.
All right, so
all simple, like run of the mill kind of stable stuff.
I don't know what we need, but there is a horse and cart in there for travel if we need it. So,
Oh, that's actually quite perfect. So whatever we find, we could just put in the cart and then take the horse back to the inn. Holy
pizza
holy
and
shit,
all
we've
the-
got ourselves something actually really good here.
Yeah. I'm going to just go ahead and because I guess he's gonna. I would assume you're gonna stay in there with your sister. I'll just go to the other room that's on the other side.
Okay. So the map's not up there. You go to the room. You go to the door and you open it up, and you can see a office chamber. To the left, right when you walk in, is a bookcase, pretty well full of books. Not like overflowing by any means, but like a decently, like a small library. Across the way on the right hand side of the desk, if you're looking toward the desk, there's a small little like nightstand or like table, like end table, and on top of it is a glass box. And then on the desk, you can see with a wooden chair, 2 wooden chairs in front and 1 behind, you can see strewn just papers, tons and tons and tons of papers. And with your passive perception, since it's high enough to see it, because you can see that from behind the desk there is a kind of like arm extended, like kind of like that, on the ground.
Okay. Until I saw that. So
You were
he
real
like,
excited.
he looks at the bookshelf, does the other thing. I want to glance back at the bookshelf, but I'll whatever, and I'll just walk over to the arm.
Okay. The arm is attached to a body. Thankfully, I'm like, did you? Oh, by the way, Eden, did you run to the door with the arm in your hand?
No, she
Okay.
definitely dropped it.
I was really concerned for a second.
And I did do cure wounds on during that process. Like that was 9 points of healing, by the way.
Awesome. Cool. As you walk around the body, you see they're dead, lying with like multiple like puncture like dart wounds in their chest. A half elf, male, blonde hair. Very lithe and slender, but overall just dead, dying, bleeding a little bit from the mouth. Blood strewn across the desk slightly, and then both of the bottom drawers of the desk are open. And as you see that and are beginning to process it, we're going to go on a quick break. So, thank you for watching this far. If you haven't already, please put the word barefoot in to get a set of Ronin killing Umbraloculus dice. You too could have the power of a god or an eldritch entity as you summon the powers from beyond the veil to kill your mortal enemies. And we'll be right back.
See you soon, guys.
welcome back. And we have with us the amazing, the beautiful, the bodacious, I don't know, other words.
The bodacious.
Eddie, you want to do, since everybody else got their,
Tubular.
what was that word? I need to learn new
Tubular.
words.
Awesome use of the language, dude.
Totally tubular.
But yeah, Eddie, do you want to do your shtick real quick since everybody else got theirs in the beginning?
Sure, why not? Hi everyone, I'm Eddie, otherwise known as the Discount Bard. You can find me at all the socials at Discount Bard. I'm here today playing Art, the lovely little goblin artificer, and I'm very excited to be out of the real world and into the real world.
Sweet.
All right. So as we come back, first of all, make sure you put the word barefoot in chat so that way you can get some Umber Oculus dice if you haven't already done so. We're gonna close it out a little before stream ends, and I will make sure I announce that. But yeah, so you guys are in the warehouse of the Scar Harriers. At this point, kind of just milling about, healing each other. You just got done with fairly well-fought battle against a number of thugs and bandits and brigands within the warehouse. After healing up for some time, you are beginning to explore, at which point Hale walks into what seems to be like the managers or like the main office of this building to find a half-elf dead behind the desk. And that's where we're picking up.
And I will give a shout. We have another deceased.
Perrin will jump
Did
up
you-
at this.
Oh,
Did you actually hit that one?
did you stab that one in the chest too?
No, us, it looks like.
Oh, okay.
Perrin walks in the room at this point. What's... And he looks down at the arm that's on the floor. Oh dear. And I'm going to go around and see what the situation is.
Yeah, go ahead and give me a medicine check, please.
Medicine check.
I'll do the same.
Okay. Either one of you can do it with advantage or both of you separate. Don't matter.
What's your bonus,
+2.
sir? +2. My medicine is also +2. So please, at your leisure, roll.
That's nat 20.
Nice.
There they are.
Death seems to be caused by puncture wounds to the chest and upper neck area by some sort of dart, maybe about this big. No, like none of the tails at the end. It looks like it just shot up. General, with a natural 20, you'd be able to say that he was probably sitting in the chair and then looked down at one of the drawers.
Relate all that. Possibly
Oh.
trap.
Right. So, well, I mean, trap, right? Like,
Right, yes, past tense, of course.
right. And so Perrin's then going to start looking at the drawers that are open.
Go ahead and give me an investigation check.
I'll slide the body out of the way.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
That's a 3.
That's a 3. You start to rummage around, and most of it's just papers, and you're looking at them like there's expense reports and all the other random crap that you'd find in a managerial office. Nothing's really standing out to you. You have this. You keep getting this like sense, this feeling that like you need to move over. That it's probably best if the human does the searching.
You're taller and you can see more things. Perrin will just kind of like get out of the way of the desk. I'm gonna start looking at the shelf, the small library there, and start like looking at things.
Okay.
Are we able to enter at that point?
Yeah, you guys are all able. Yeah,
Okay.
scene is yours. You guys can kind of do whatever you want to do.
I have a passive investigation of 21.
Can you just roll it?
I'll roll,
Can you
yeah,
roll
okay.
a d20, please? Mom, I'm scared. There's this guy at a
16.
party. He says his passive is higher than 20. I don't know what to do. What'd you say?
16.
16. Yeah, looking around, you see a number of things. First and foremost, the papers on the main portion of the desk. You can see that. Hang on, where are my notes on? There we go. Most of them are shipping manifests and like a couple of like expense reports, but most of them are shipping manifests where things have been moving. It looks as if Umber transports pretty much everything. Looking at it, it's mostly raw materials. Whether it's or like raw goods, including raw like food stores, like foodstuffs, as well as let's see, hang on, let me double check my notes. Looking down to where the trap would have triggered, or where you would have known the trap would have triggered, you can see that there is a section with a bunch of little holes where whatever these darts would have kind of sprung trap from. And with that 16, you would also be able to notice that it looks like there is some sort of secret compartment in the bottom of this right drawer.
I will be actively speaking that, what you just said, as I'm looking through it. It looks like shipping manifests, raw goods, da-da-da-da-da.
Eden is looming over his shoulder and being like the nosy kid staring over the shoulder while Kaiden is looking through everything.
And Fanara's trying to look at the same area that Perrin's looking, like, looking at any other things that are on the shelves and, kind of probably helping Perrin if he needed to go to a higher shelf.
Okay. Let's go through Perrin first, and then we'll loop back around to Eden and Hale.
Yeah.
Perrin, you go over to this end table, and on top of it, in this glass, or like this ornate glass case, looking in, you see a mask. Black with silver embroidery up along the side. Not quite feline in nature, but very much so like you've seen many people in the Oasis wear from time to time when they are interacting at the Lucky Sand Dollar or other more risque parts of the city.
Right. That's really right. And as he sees this, he's just gonna like take the glass cover off of it.
Careful.
Oh, pish posh, it's just a mask. And he reaches over and grabs it, and he like holds it in his hands. And he turns over to Fanara and he goes, "You'd actually look really good with this." And he kind of like hands her like the masquerade mask.
Oh, you think so?
Oh, you really do, actually.
She's definitely going to try to put it to her face and tie it around her head to try to like show it off.
Okay. Yeah, you put it on. Are you gonna? So you could either put it on or on the front, like where like your eyes and stuff would be, or you could kind of like put it up to the top of your head, whichever you'd prefer.
Yeah,
but,
I'm imagining.
You're wearing your tiara.
I have the I have the headpiece, so I would have to tie it around.
But yeah, it looks very elegant, very sleek. This silver, you can tell both Perrin and Fanara just from your time at the Oasis. The silver inlay isn't silver thread; it's actual like silver. So it has a little bit of weight to it, but it fits kind of snugly. You tie it off in the back, and it looks as regal as ever.
Oh, look at you! You're a vision.
Thank you,
Wonderful.
Perrin.
What? You're just okay. You just stand over there and look pretty for a minute, and then he goes back to the bookshelf, and for a minute he just like glances over at the professor, and I don't care what three. I am pulling 3 books off of this shelf, and then taking them.
Cool. Cool. Awesome. You have. Do you want to know the names, or are you just taking them and putting them in your bag, and then like that's it?
I'm taking them, and I'm going to put them in my bag, and then eventually they will be donated to the Library of Hale.
Okay. Awesome. Cool. So I'm not going to tell you the names yet because I only have 2.
That's fine.
I specifically prepped for Hale looking at the bookshelf.
I was getting there.
No, but awesome. So you grab the books, shove them in your bag, kind of glance over your shoulder at Hale. Hale and Eden looming over. You see the compartment. It looks like it had been moved and the half elf that was there had definitely moved touch, triggered it in some way. So it's very easily you're very easily able to open and like move that piece to reveal the contents underneath. You see a number of things. You see 3 separate kind of coin purses or pouches. You see a vial with this layered kind of brown and silver and gray look to it. And then the last thing you see underneath those 4 things, those 4 things, is just a solid black leather book.
How do we feel about theft?
Well, if they belong to that guy, he's kind of dead, and aren't we supposed to get stuff for what's their burr?
Umber.
I can
That
say
one.
with fair amount of confidence that this guy did not expect this to be in here.
Well, actually, you know what? Give me a moment. And Fanar's gonna go forward to where the body is. And she's going to reach in her bag for a second. And she's gonna be like, yeah, you know, I haven't really tried this before, but if we had an opportunity to talk to this individual and find out how things became like they are, would you guys want to question him?
That could be
Can
really
speak
cool.
with
As
the
Eden
dead.
as Eden is reaching sneakily to grab the book.
Slap
Now-
her hand.
Fanar's gonna examine the body. I want to know, DM, how long has this person
Sneakily,
been
like
dead for what I'm trying to attempt?
Okay. Hang on. What are you trying to attempt? That would be.
I'm
the better
trying to
question.
attempt spare the dying, where it should for any creature that's at 0
Gotcha.
hit points, make it stable, and then I would heal in order to make him conscious.
That's a good question.
Because it doesn't.
You know
really
what?
state-
Roll a D100 for me.
All right.
Eden is
She's-
reaching again.
Okay, that is a 50.
A 50. Okay. Eddie will remember this. My good old Senate 51 from back in the day. So I have a general rule where if I don't if I don't have a set ruling on something, I make you roll a D100. If it's a 51 or higher, it happens. If it's 50 or lower, it doesn't happen. So with a 50, he is dead.
So after Fanar basically looks at his body and kind of like lifting up his arm and checking his, where his pulse would be, she's like, well, you know what? Unfortunately, I guess I can't really do what I was going to attempt to do. Maybe another time.
It's the-
Oh my god, and that's probably okay. Look at that thing over there. Eden reaches for the book again.
I slap her hand again.
Right.
The problem is I can't even make you guys do sleight of hand because your passives are just.
They equal out.
It's not even
Perrin looks at Fanar and goes, well, you've done exactly what you thought you were going to do, and it's the thought that counts. You made the attempt. That's important.
Yeah, I want to talk to you about that later, actually.
Where?
Okay.
And he just kind of like looks around. Is he not back yet? And Perrin's going to go outside of the warehouse and look up and down the street and look for Art, because he should have been here by now.
Yeah.
After repairing the roof of the inn.
Yeah, Art. You look around really quickly. Art, do you want to describe what Parent sees as he's walking out?
Come on, you should know they're sent by now. Come on, we gotta go. No, not that way. Come. Okay, I know. We've trained you for this. We know you have a good sense of smell. We know that you can follow the trail. No, not the food. Okay, all right. Let's try this again. They're not far. We know they went to the warehouse. Come on, we know it's over this way. The food's here. I'll give you the food after. Now, come on, let's go.
And Perrin just kind of like stands, leans up against the warehouse, and just watches him with a smile on his face. Doesn't say anything.
Art is far too distracted with trying to train the skunk to track and search to even notice the onlooker.
Quietly to himself, Perrin begins to just sing. There it is again, that funny feeling. That funny feeling. Hey, what do you say? We were overdue.
Oh.
You're
Well, why didn't
sure
you
to
say
be
so then?
over soon. All right,
come
now
on,
that you're
Dukar.
here, he like stops him in his tracks. It's you need to be prepared. All right, there is a little bit of aftermath in there, some violent aftermath.
Oh. Did anyone die?
Yes, actually, my sister happened to kill someone, which was
Oh.
very interesting for me.
Well, that's interesting indeed. Did we find what we're looking for?
He didn't
like-
rip someone's arm off. It's fine.
And then just like shaking his head as if like art is just brushing this off, and Perrin is like so like okay, interested. There were a couple of people that managed to get away only because they knew what they were up against. We kind of, shook them up a bit. But the rest of us were inside taking a look around, trying to find the things that Umber have sent us for. Come on in, I'll show you. And Perrin like walks them back into the office of the warehouse.
Come to a car.
I feel like by the time they walk in, like Hale and Eden are like doing the full on like slapping thing, because Eden is now trying to get really fast about it, like because it's a game to her now.
I did want to do one last thing. Fanara still remembers that red stuff that jumped into her brother.
Mm-hmm.
She's trying to skim the like any of the shelves or any of the book, like to try to see if there's anything that might hint at its source, or like if there's anything like as far as paperwork or something like that, because she wants to know what that was.
Go ahead and give me an investigation check.
Okay. Oh, okay.
I'm
That's a
holding
16.
A 16. You don't see anything that catches your eye until you get behind the desk by where Hale and Eden are currently sitting. On the desk itself, there's blood, and you take a minute and you're like, huh. And then like between what you were saying and like looking at the body, and like when Hale looked at the body and like where the darts placement are, there's no way that blood would have spattered in that direction from a dart that was like that. Like there shouldn't have been any splash. So this is definitely abnormal to you.
Fanara, after seeing that, she's going to take out her herbalism kit. She's going to take a tool to kind of scrape some of the blood to put it into an empty vial and close it up, because she wants to try to see if she can figure out what that substance is.
As you go to scoop it up, you notice that it isn't like blood. You would like dab it and it would absorb. This you can physically like pick up, and has almost like a gooey bounciness to it, right? It's kind of elasticy, and it's only like you get like a couple, like maybe like a little string
Sticky.
worth. Yeah, it's sticky. It's not quite acidic, like it's not burning your tools or implements anyway, but you're able to scoop it up, put it into a little vial, and store it back with your herbalism kit.
What on earth is that?
That's a bruise from where Kaiden keeps hitting me in the hand.
Oh no! That sticky substance you were playing with.
Oh,
there.
oh,
What was
me.
that?
Oh, I thought you were talking to. That's what I'm trying to figure out. So, you weren't here for all the action, but during the fight, there was this red thing that jumped out of somebody's mouth into my brother's, and that was very concerning because he seems normal, but the thing didn't come out of him yet. So I'm trying to figure out the source. This looks a little suspicious because it doesn't make any sense for the blood to have gotten over here. So I think that maybe, I don't know, the two may be connected. Wheels are turning in my head, and I'm gonna try to get to the bottom of it because I know it's something we can figure out.
So
But it's something. It's something. I just can't.
You're trying to figure out how to get the sticky thing out of your brother's face.
Exactly. Or if this is not the same said sticky thing, maybe it'll indicate. I don't know. I'm just trying to figure out if there's a connection between the two.
DM, does the description of this sticky substance ring any bells for me?
Go ahead and make a nature check for me.
I'm not sorry.
Is that a... Okay, couldn't quite tell if that was an 8 or a 0. So that was nature, you say?
Yes, please.
That'll be a 21.
Yeah. Okay. So you are able to identify it. You're not quite. Fuck it. Yeah. No. This is an ooze, or at least the remnants of an ooze. By the coloration and the fact that it's not physically burning the implements, like the mundane implements that you guys are using, this is referred to something that is known to as an ooblex.
Ooblex, you said?
Yes, Oblex.
His face.
Here, let me see that. Let me see that vial real quick.
Oh, of course. Yeah, no worries.
I'm gonna take it out of her hand, and I'm gonna. Does that have like a stopper in it, or is it just an open vial?
I had put a stopper, but she would have taken the stopper off of the vial and then handed it to you.
I'm gonna take a little sniff of it and just see if that rings bells.
Be careful.
And I'm gonna go into one of my pockets and find something that could fit into the vial, like a little twig or something like that. I'm gonna dip it in there, kind of examine what it does to the twig.
Don't put that in your mouth.
Based on your description and based on the aroma and the taste qualities of this, it's clearly some sort of an ooze. I can't say for sure, but based on the coloration and how you described it and that flavor, I think based on my research, it might be an ooblex.
What the heck is it? What?
It's an ooze of some sort.
Is this thing deadly? Oh no, Perrin!
What?
I'm too young for you to die.
Well, I'm
and she's gonna grab Perrin's shoulders.
Oh, goodness!
Apparently, you just have oozes in your face. And Eden is giggling to herself.
Please, Art, tell me, how long does he have?
Here. Well, I don't think. Well, hang on. Before I speak out of turn, do I know if this is gonna be something that's deadly to Perrin?
I would say since you weren't there to physically see what happened, 1, 2, like you were still while you know what an oobleck, you don't quite know figuring out everything else that revolves around it would require a little bit additional research. So this circumstance, you're not 100% sure.
Okay, so you said that he consumed it? It went inside him?
Exactly.
I didn't consume anything. Don't.
It went down into your mouth and your throat.
It definitely went down your throat.
Yes, Eden agrees with me. We saw it with our eyes.
So then here, let's see. I'm gonna dig through my pockets, and I'm going to go through one that's one of the pockets that happened to have some of the slop of the food from earlier, and pull out what appears to be a particularly well, as soon as it gets close to Perrin's nose, a very rank sock, and however, the odor seems to have become stronger as Art gives a quick little blow on it, and it just sort of gives out this little poof right in your face, and is hopefully going to trigger a nauseating reaction.
Question: does all of this activity distract Hale enough for Eden to grab the book?
You know what? I'm going to make Hale, make a concentration check, please.
I was
Oh
gonna say,
my
at
gosh.
this point, what I'm not paying attention to any of this. I said at one point I have the book in my hand as well.
If we're not
Oh,
sure what
okay.
you ate, it's best to just expel it out of your
Yeah.
body. That way you can be sure.
She's still trying to grab it. Then she's absolutely still like occasionally, like when she thinks he's not looking, she's like,
Yeah, that's it. Get it out like how when I was sick and I threw up in the inn. Exactly. Yeah, get it all out of your system.
Here, if I'm not mistaken, and maybe a slight acceleration of force might assist with this. Hang on, and I'm gonna go onto my back, and I'm gonna grab my cast iron skillet, and I'm gonna give Perrin a nice little whop on the buttocks to try and see if that.
Yeah, Perrin, as this event of trying to force whatever you don't have inside your body is happening, I need you to make an intelligence saving throw for me, please.
I'm so sorry, Renee. I come right on stream and instantly just try to make you up, Chuck.
That's fine.
and you spanked him.
It's a trend with the siblings, obviously.
It's how we do. So intelligence saving throw. That's a 3.
Oh.
You're muted.
I am. As you, I'm trying not to click clack on my keyboard while I'm looking at things. You immediately feel this urge to run upstairs.
Okay. All right. I need just. Can I get some room, please?
All right.
Oh, okay.
And as they give me room, I bolt out the door.
Bonara's gonna run after it. Perrin! No!
Nope.
And she's just like running towards that direction.
You haven't finished expelling yet. Wait.
She's got 10 feet on me, so she's gonna catch me no problem. But like I'm bolting.
Yeah. So y'all are probably gonna get way ahead of me.
No, Art, you can keep up because you got 30 feet.
Oh, no, that's right.
Yeah.
I have 30.
And Perrin's only a halfling, so he's like running, and it's like the point where like, but no, you make it to like the stairs as Thanara, you're able to judge where he's heading and like cut him off. Art, you get behind and like are able to kind of like do the whole like kind of trying to get him not to dodge. Perrin, still you upstairs. You got to get upstairs.
Where are you heading to?
I try and go through her legs.
It's not. We don't know if it's. We haven't even searched this area. We don't know if it's. Get off of my dress.
As per halfling nimbleness, I can move through the space of any creature larger than me, which is everyone except for Art. So I'm gonna just duck through her legs and just go up the stairs.
Can I try to do a sleight of hand to grab his vest?
Yeah, I'd say athletics to try to grab him, and then Perrin, athletics, acrobatics to try to get out.
Yep.
While they're rolling, we're going to transition to Eden and Hale. Are you guys? You're just.
Yeah. At this
no,
point,
I
like
literally-
no. Yeah.
One of them's like, yeah, that's what we're doing. The other one, no.
No. Like Hale has the book now, but
Yeah.
Eden is then still like is now basically like perched over his shoulder and is just watching to see if he'll open the book.
Yeah, it's open. Like that whole time, assuming it wasn't poisoned or trapped or whatever, that whole time I was reading through this book. I never looked up,
Okay.
except to
so
slap your hand away.
You're sitting there reading, and then eventually, like after they all run out, like you just feel the presence of Eden move over your shoulder as she is now watching.
What?
And then for some reason, I will start reading aloud.
What languages do the two of you know?
Oh, fun.
This is important.
Common, Draconic, Elvish.
Art, if you want to
Half-Elvish,
attempt
Sylvan.
to, athletics as well. Or if you had something
Attempt
else.
to
you
what?
wanted. Oh, I thought you were going to attempt to Greg Perrin. Let me
Oh,
resolve.
I had something specific in mind actually.
Okay. Give me a second. Let me resolve this
yep.
and we'll come back to you.
Yep.
Common, Druidic, Elvish, Sylvan, and Primordial.
All right. And Hale.
Common, Draconic, Elvish, Halfling, Sylvan. And whatever I want, depending on if I need it. If I don't understand it, I'll just cast Comprehend Language.
All right. Yeah, it would require you don't understand it, so you can cast Comprehend Language.
And then I'll just read it out loud.
Yeah, I feel like that's probably provoked by Eden pointing, going, "What does that say?" over and over as you start to read out loud.
So, you notice within this book, comprehend languages allows you to know what language it is. Correct me if I'm wrong. It does?
Yeah.
Okay. So you know that this is deep speech.
Yeah, I understand the literal meaning of any. Oh wait, hold on. Oh no, I may understand any written language that I can see, but must be touching the surface on which the words are written.
Cool. All right. So as you start to kind of like follow the letters, this is deep speech, and what you're finding is that there are columns, and there are name after name after name on the far column, with a single monetary value. Some very small and insignificant. Couple dozen gold. Some hundreds of thousands. But going down in a list, name, price, and then as it looks like the dates at the top are getting closer and closer to the current date, some of the prices begin to shift and lower depending. And then at the end of it, you see a column marked location. And the ones that stand out to you, you see sanctuary on a large majority of these. You also see some that denote Shymore, Davenport, and Morlock. And then there are a few spattering in other places in Central Cantor as well, but those are the four major ones that stick out.
Do I get any indication? Is there any indication in the book as to what are there names of places and people?
Yeah, so the far left column is specifically people, and then like from in between the left and the far right column is all just denoting monetary values for that person. And then on the far right is the location. And some of them have the original location scratched out and a new location put in.
Do I ever see the same name twice?
No.
Okay.
Well, that's a really boring story.
Yeah, it's not a story. Well, it's a story, but
It's stupid.
okay.
Oh wait, is that what we're looking for?
I don't know. Maybe. Here, take
'Cause,
these coins.
Okay, put them in there. How many do you give me?
3. There's 3 in there, I think.
There's 3 bags of coins, yeah.
Three
And what was
bags?
the other thing
There's
in
three. There's 3 separate bags of coins, and then a vial that contains layered brown, and then silver, and then gray.
Yeah, Eden does
I'll
not
take
care
that.
about. Yeah, Eden just opens the bag. How many? Is it so many that I'd have to sit there and count it?
It would be Yeah.
Okay, she just takes them and like puts them under her cloak and ties them there, and it's just like, for a moment, like when she has them, she's like kind of bouncing around the office because she jingles.
Jingles now.
Yeah.
Maybe we should go find the others.
They really seem like they're having some family issues or something. So
That's weird.
yeah, I mean, I get really excited when I meet new people and stuff because I don't meet a whole lot of them. But you're all pretty cool, I guess. The others
pretty
just
low
seem
bar.
to, they just seem to vomit a whole lot. I don't get it.
It's a weird thing. It's a family
God.
trait. Let's go.
Okay.
Bouncing back, Art, there was something you wanted to do.
In an attempt to try to slow down our rather slippery friend, I was going to try to create a rather slippery situation by pulling a stick of butter out of my pocket
Oh, I hate you.
and rubbing it between my hands and then spreading it out into a pile of grease on the floor.
All right.
I hate you. Thank you.
All right. So, Finara and Perrin, how'd we do on our acrobatics athletics rolls?
Well, I have a -1 to my athletics, but I did roll a 14, so that makes it 13.
And I have a +4 to my acrobatics, and so I rolled a 20.
All right. So you managed to slip through. However, as you start up the stairs, you feel your feet start to come out from under you slightly. I believe it's a dexterity saving
It's a
throw.
dex save,
It
yeah.
is.
Go ahead and give me a dexterity saving throw. As the grease from Art now is all over the floor. Are you leaving Finara out of the casting of it, or is Finara within the casting of it?
How close are Finara and Vin to each other?
I would.
mean, we're pretty close.
Yeah, they're pretty
It's
close.
fine.
Yeah, I don't think it's like.
It's fine.
Honestly, in all honesty, I probably did it in such a haphazard fashion that it probably got me too.
All right, then.
Okay, so it's dexterity for both of us?
Dexterity saving
Okay.
throw, yes, please.
Okay, I got a 14.
Yeah, you're good.
Natural 20 for 24.
Oh
Cool.
my
So
gosh.
somehow we all managed to succeed that.
Perrin rushes up through the grease, up the stairs, and goes to where the loft is.
Okay, so you get upstairs and you turn, and the first thing you notice, the first door at the top of the stairs open. The room is completely ransacked, but your mind is telling you to keep moving, to keep following the railing, and you go and you get to the third door, and you just stop. And no sense of direction, no sense of like you're back to Perrin.
And he stops, and like it's that moment of like you hear his footsteps go doo, 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 and then all of a sudden just like stop.
Dagnabbit!
And
Perrin! And she's like trying to like, because she succeeded but not as great as obviously her brother, so she's trying to lift up her dress so she can try to like trek up with her, like stepping in this buttery ooze that what that basically Art put down. She's gonna turn behind to look at Art. You know, my grandpa Al does something similar. He likes to pull pranks. You guys would get along. And she keeps going up the stairs as she's trying to go towards where Perrin went.
So, and to that same note, Art, apparently succeeding getting through the grease as well, was full sprint behind Perrin trying to catch up to him. However, it seems that our act of grace after getting out of the grease was not so good. So, if Perrin is stopped in front of Art, there might be a collision ensued.
yeah, you come barreling out. Hey, Kaiden and Eden, you're walking out of the office at this point to hear above you the thum, 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 and then you kind of turn the corner and you watch and you just barely catch a blur of blue and green barreling up the stairs through this pile of grease on the floor. You hear another like smack and then like another two body like thud as two bodies fall to the ground. And then another kind of set of footsteps as Finara is kind of getting there as well above you guys.
Damn it, Art! Oh goodness!
Sorry, I still had some on my feet.
Oh, that's.
Well, you can't blame Art for that because you went rushing through here, and we were just concerned about your well-being, and you're acting so strange. What's going on with you?
Guys, are you okay up there, or
We're fine. We're fine, Eden. It's fine. And
To be determined, Eden. To be determined.
they said they're
Perrin.
trying to figure out if they're okay. Is it
How are you? Is anything broken? Do you have a fever or anything? But we still haven't finished with the expelling. We wasn't sure how you're feeling. Here. Let me check. Do you have your reflexes? And I'm gonna take out my hammer and just on the knee.
And Perrin, like as Perrin gets hit in the knee, Perrin's arm comes up and slaps Art across the face. Right. Okay. So everything's in proper order. That everything's hinged properly, and he just like pauses for a second and then looks at the door. I think we need to go in here.
How do you know?
We've never been here before. How do you...
I am just inclined to go into this room right here. And he just kind of puts his hand on the doorknob.
One second. Just hold my hand for a second, and you can. Oh, we'll open it together. Okay, how
Check
about
for
that?
booby traps.
He holds her hand and then opens the door.
She's doing emboldening bond on the two of them because she doesn't trust said situation of the opening of the door.
All right, you open the door. In it, there's a little bit of you have to push a little and then you hear the grinding of a chair or a desk as the door slowly swings open with a little bit of pressure that you give to it. The room, pretty standard, a single bed, like twin-size bed on the far side underneath the window, because the walls go straight up to the ceiling on either side. Underneath the window, a small desk, the chair now pushed in front of, or off to the left as you're entering. What is your passive perception?
Is it both of us since we're both technically there?
Just Perrin, since he's the first one going in.
Perrin's passive perception is 12.
Listen, I know Fanara's is high enough. I don't need you to tell me what
Listen,
Fanara's
I'm trying to help my brother out, okay?
What is Fanara's passive perception? Yes. Like,
yes. Yeah, I see everything. I see all.
So, Perrin, you don't notice this, but Finn, as you kind of glance in over your brother's shoulder, he takes a step into the room. And you see underneath the bed a small girl clutching some sort of toy, and you hear the word "Daddy," and that's where we're gonna call it for tonight.
Oh,
Oh.
You taking a
guys.
note from
So
taking
it
a
did
note
deserve
from
that.
somebody I know.
Who? I don't know. But yeah, thank you all for joining. We're gonna go around really quick as I finish up, or as we do put the finishing touches on the giveaway. Please, the word barefoot, all lowercase, because at some point that branding will stick with this party. Once Professor Hale
Lame.
gets his act together, or their act together. But yeah, let's start with Eden. Taryn, do your thing. Perform your shtick.
Hi, everybody. Taryn Hackett, also known as Valrook across the socials. I am a generally creative human TTRPG performer and GM over on the Initiative Order, where I GM every other Sunday as the keeper for a Cult Divinity Lost homebrew campaign, where I lead a group of lost souls through a sundering veil and destroy their realities. Yes, Ronan is one of those poor unfortunate souls. I am also every Monday on the Initiative Order in Vault, the Fallout TTRPG that we have over there, playing Miss Peggy Sue James, gunslinger of sorts. And then I am the creative behind Umbral Oculus Dice, proud sponsor for the stream. Just throwing that out there. UO_dice on the Instagram, link in bio for merch, shop, and other things. I do have a shop update coming soon, and I have dice in stock now that are druid themed. I'm just throwing that out there. But yeah, that's me and what to do.
Bree, Utahima.
Hi guys, I'm Brianna. Also, as many of you guys know, me as Utahime. I'm a cosplayer and streamer and TTRPG lover and performer. And you can catch me on the socials of the medias to see what I'm up to at Utahime Cosplay on Facebook, Instagram, here on Twitch, where I occasionally stream a variety of games. I should be technically streaming tomorrow. Please stay tuned for that. And Brianna DeCosta on Twitter. You can also catch me on the Initiative Order on Monday evenings at 6:30 p.m. Pacific time for Vault, the Fallout TTRPG, where I play Ash, the super mutant. And then you can catch me over on that_D'Angelo's channel for Tayar. It's a political drama full of scandals. Lots of fun stuff over there. That's at 5 p.m. Pacific time for Tayar. And then there's going to be a new campaign that starts on October 8th on Creators Assemble's channel. And that's going to be at 6:30 Pacific time every other Friday. And that's Agents of Nyx. And it also too stars another person who probably will be joining this band of chaotic misfits, certain Casual Campbell. Just saying. So stay tuned.
He's also not barefoot though, so like
That is
I,
true.
he's got to get. We gotta get. The
We'll
branding.
fix that.
We gotta get the branding before he joins.
There is a rust spell, right?
Yeah, but not when you're wearing leather boots, unfortunately.
Oh, are they leather? Dang it.
Yeah. Ronan shows
I mean, leather is not acid proof.
This is true.
It's true.
I'm just saying, I'm sure I could do something about it. And by something about, I could totally turn into a wolf and just chew their shoes off.
I mean, I could also just buy a new pair. Like, I'm not keeping.
Yeah, shoes are not
That's a
expensive.
You can buy.
All right, Ronan.
Hey, I'm Ronan. You can find me at Ronan Fox on all the socials. I am a world builder, writer, TTRPG performer. You can find me on the Far Realms on TIO every other Sunday. Find me here. I am helping write some information for Tayar, consulting with other projects. And I'm starting back Twitch. That'll be next week from today. That'll be at 6 p.m. Eastern, and I will be world building my novel/campaign setting of Valandrica, which is a very expansive project that I've undertaken and enjoy it thoroughly. So join me.
Also, the self-proclaimed king of West Virginia. So
That's a given.
you need to continue to throw that out there because eventually it will happen.
Yeah, but that crown is made out of Mountain Dew cans.
Oh, that's
gosh.
fair.
Yeah. Speaking of Mountain Dew,
Coming
our
from
little
Texas.
green hype goblin, Eddie.
Hi everyone, I'm Eddie, otherwise known as the Discount Bard. You can follow me on all my various adventures at Discount Bard on all the social medias. I'm a TTRPG performer, voice artist, actor, streamer, and real-life jack-of-all-trades, full-time silly person. You can find me normally on my own channel streaming video game content. I'm actually preparing for some special Halloween content coming up in October, all kinds of spooky games. So if you enjoy people getting the crap scared out of them, it's a good opportunity to have some fun there. Otherwise, when you don't see me there, you can find me hanging out on channels like this one. I'm also on Tayar as well on alternating Wednesdays at 5 p.m. over at That D'Angelo, where I get to take part in the political intrigue escapades as well. I also am slowly but surely working my way towards becoming an aspiring DM, which I've talked about for a long time, but I'm in the process of hopefully making that actually come to fruition in the not too distant future. I also enjoy cooking. I'll have a cooking stream that's going to be in the works pretty soon too.
I was going to say, give us more cooking streams, Eddie.
Oh, it's on the way, I promise.
I want to see Eddie in an apron.
I love the cooking streams so much.
And
It's going to be even better this time.
And last, but certainly not least,
No,
Renee,
not least.
our little halfling bard.
Hello everyone, my name is Renee Beauregard. You can find me at Dragon Rock RPG Design on Instagram and at Dragon Rock RPG on Twitter, where me and my friend Daniel Lieberman, we make 5e things for D&D. Soon enough, we're going to be releasing our Warlocks, which are coming soon to a channel near you, likely on to DM's Guild. So keep your eyes out for that. We're also going to be working on a mythical melee, which will happen on October 23rd, where you will see comic book characters go one-on-one who will have never met before. It'll be fun. It'll be interesting. Please come and check us out on the initiative order. Please come check us out here. Don't forget to enter barefoot in the chat so that you can potentially win yourself a D20 from Umbral Oculus Dice. And don't forget, we'll be here 2 weeks' time. Check us out.
Speaking of which, Renee is the one that helped me name, my whole dice brand. So
It's true.
Makes
I did.
And also the one
he is
bringing
really good with names.
way too much talent to this stream with that instrument.
I legit am like it's amazing. And I'm gonna close this out. I'm gonna close closing entries. Let's pick our winner. All right, we got 16 people in here. Let's hear our drum roll, please, or loot roll, please. Hey, our halfling bard himself. Yeah, there we go. Renee, DM. Well, I already have your address, so we're good. I will be sending you this beautiful. I do know where you live. I'm sending you this beautiful Umbral Oculus die that wants to eat the background. It's got some beautiful little like flowers and stuff in there. I don't know how. The person that does Umbral Oculus does it, but like they must be super amazing. And
Magic.
like probably yeah. But yeah,
I made a pact.
he
with
made a pact
myself.
with the
With myself.
Eldritch. Oh yeah, because Eldritch being. And I'm your friendly
Alright.
internet dungeon master, Logan Hanley. You can find me here, and all the socials and all that stuff. Thank you for joining us on this
Yes.
Ecriom Expedition, and we'll see you in 2 weeks on October 12th, and we will find out if Perrin is not the father. We're gonna raid. We're gonna raid our friend Coral. Y'all have a good night, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Bye, you guys.